What's up, everybody? This is Whiskey in the Six. I'm Rob. Today I have for you the Glenfiddich Malt Masters Edition. So, I emailed the Glenfiddich Distillery, and like big companies, they didn't get back to me. What I was searching to find out in my research and through that email was whether or not this is natural color or unchill filtered. It has a heavy sherry influence, which is why I actually went to inquire. Normally when it doesn't say it on the bottle, it doesn't say it on the box, I automatically assume it's not natural color. But because a lot of the special edition Glenfiddichs are not natural color and non-chill filtered, I had a feeling they might be, and because of the heavy sherry influence on the nose, I figured it very easily could be natural color, but it doesn't say it, so we're gonna say it doesn't. If they get back to me through email, I'll let you know, but at the moment we're stuck with assuming it is added color, maybe very minimal E150 caramel colorant, and I'm assuming also that it's chill filtered. Okay. What I want to say first though is, aside from that, is this is really good stuff. Okay, it's a no age statement whiskey, so a lot of people that's a red flag for automatically. I would say before you throw no age statement whiskeys into a category where they're untouchable, you don't want them, you don't want to ever look at them, give this one a shot, because this is surprisingly really good stuff. Okay, when I compare this to Macallan Amber, even Macallan Ruby, this is better in my opinion than the Macallan Ruby. Macallan Ruby is $350 Canadian in the LCBO. This is 105. Okay, they recently raised the price from 90. I liked it better at 90, but it's still really good at 105. Okay. Other sherried whiskeys that I've had that are not as good. Glenfarclas 25-year-old. Okay, this is an age statement whiskey, non-chill filter, no added color. Not as good as the Glenfiddich Malt Masters Edition, in my opinion. This is one guy's opinion, okay? Don't jump all over me for saying that, but I honestly believe that this is a better scotch. I like the Amber Macallan, but I think this is better for the same price. They raised the gold to about $80. This is much better than the gold. Like I said, it's better than the Ruby at 350 in my opinion. Okay, I have a good feeling that when I try the Macallan 18-year-old, it's gonna completely change my view of Macallan, because Macallan 18-year-old is what it's known for, the Macallan brand. Like, one of the main staples of Macallan is the 18-year-old, the sherry cask. So I can't wait to try that. That'll be shortly. $105 is a really good scotch. Okay, on the nose. Very sweet, ton of sherry. You can tell that it's most likely a heavy amount of first fill sherry aging going on in here. Okay, I'm not saying it's been aged. It says sherry oak, double matured in oak and sherry casks. Okay, so partly bourbon, partly ex-sherry, but the sherry comes out like as soon as you put your nose to it. And then subtly in the background you'll pick up the vanilla from the bourbon. Based on the nose, you would think this is like a dessert scotch. That's how sweet it smells. Okay. Get a ton of apple, but like apple pie kind of apple, cinnamon apple pie type of thing. Very sweet, like I said, cinnamon, apple. There's some red fruit in there, possibly like a cooked down raspberry jam. Okay, on the palate. Super smooth. It's bottled at 43%. So unlike it's the Glenfiddich 18, 15, 12, this is 43%. It's better than all three of those in my opinion. The 15 is really good. The 18 I'm not a huge fan of, but this reminds me a ton of the 15-year-old, just slightly better. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's longer. It's aged longer in sherry or first fill sherry. Maybe it's just the combination that the malt master, what's his name over here? Doesn't matter. Because this is the malt master edition, possibly that's why it's just a better selection of sherry casks used for this particular bottle, but it is a lot better than the 15 in my opinion. Can't get over how soft the palate is. It's super creamy. Definitely a lot of sweetness to it. The finish lasts. It's oaky. Still going the finish actually. Trying to pick up. You get a lot of chocolate on the palate. A ton of chocolate. You still get a little bit of that apple, a little bit of that cinnamon from the nose, but on the palate, the chocolate really comes through. Because of how good this is, that's what makes me want to believe that there's no added color. Because of how much sherry influence there is on this whiskey, I want to believe that that's natural color, but like I said, we can't unless they say it somewhere. So again, I'll get back to you on that, but this is really good stuff. Like I said, there's a lot of bias against no age statement whiskeys out there. If you haven't tried this one yet and you still have that bias, I highly recommend you buy a dram of this somewhere, because it'll change your opinion. It honestly will. The malt master, whoever works at Glenfiddich, did his homework on the various barrels that he has offered to him in the distillery and chose some of the best ones for this scotch, because it's really good stuff. Okay. I've talked to a lot of people about this scotch, and very few of them, actually not one person has ever told me a negative thing about this. I've read some negative things online, so that's why that's where the very few comes in. But anybody I've talked to in person that's had this loves it. It's good for the newbie. It's good for someone that's a whiskey person but doesn't exclusively like scotch and wants to try a couple scotches here and there. And it's, in my opinion, good for the connoisseur as well, because there's a lot of complexity in this. Okay, it's not overly complex, but it's pretty complex for a no age statement whiskey. Okay, so really good stuff. There is one more thing I want. Other than the Glendronach 12-year-old, which is now only about $25 cheaper than this, there's not much in the price range that I would say is better. The Tomatin, 14-year-old was really good, but it's a lot more sharp. It's a lot more strong on the palate, and that definitely needs some water. Okay, whereas this, as a standalone, you don't have to add a drop of water to it. You can. It does actually make some changes. I tried it with water. It's equally good. There's slight differences, but this doesn't need anything. It's fantastic stuff. Okay, I do have, which will be coming up shortly, Tomatin 18-year-old. I just picked that up. For whatever reason in Ontario, they still offer the old style bottling. Okay, so it's the a lot more slender, this shape. The new ones are a lot more rounded. So I'll be doing this one shortly. I have coming as well samples of the Macallan 18-year-old, which I've told you guys about. Glenmorangie, Glenmorangie 18-year-old as well coming. I'm gonna do the sample of that review. I'm not sure whether or not I'm gonna open that bottle just yet, but for sure I'm gonna be doing the sample as the review. Okay, and like I said, the Tomatin 18-year-old. And then we got the Tobermory coming up. This one's a Speyside that has a bit of peatiness to it, so it'll be interesting. If you haven't tried it already, I'll do that one coming up. All right. This is gonna be for me a solid A. All right. I've been giving some good marks lately. I've been having some really good scotch lately, but I can't find a criticism that's worthy of dropping this mark. I know it's no age statement. I know it doesn't say non-chill filtered or no added color, but it's really good stuff. So at the end of the day, taste is king, right? So, and obviously in this particular case, nose as well, or the smell. All right, so a solid A. Check out my Facebook account. You can add me as a friend. I'll accept you. All right, it's Whiskey in the Six. Just put it into the search engine and you'll find me. There's also Instagram and Twitter. I have on Instagram I'm at Whiskey in the Six. On Twitter I'm at Whiskey_in_the_6. Solid A. Go pick up a bottle. It's not that expensive. Cheers.